my loves, it's Kayla Rose, and I'm back with a couple verses of the day. So today's verses of the day are coming from Chronicles chapter 12, verse 8, and then 17 through 18. And the background of this story is David was in Ziklag while he kept to himself there because Saul was trying to kill him. And so the title of this message was "The Men Who Helped David Become King." And this is very important because the men that came to help David, this was weird because they had every right to choose Saul as their king because they would benefit from his reign. But the men chose David as their king, and to help him is because they seen that the Lord was with him. And so, yeah, there were some mighty men. So we're going to start off with verse 8. And it says, "And of the Gadites there separated themselves unto David into the whole to the wilderness men of might, and men of war, fit for the battle, that could handle shield and buckler, whose faces were like the faces of lions, and were as swift as the roes upon the mountains." And verse 17 says, "And David went out to meet them, and answered and said unto them, If ye be come peaceably unto me, to help me, my heart shall be knit unto you. But if ye be come to betray me to mine enemies, seeing there is no wrong in mine hands, the God of our fathers look thereon and rebuke it." Then the Spirit came upon Amasai, who was the chief of the captains, and he said, "Thine are we, David, and on thy side. Thou son of Jesse, peace, peace be unto thee, and peace be to thine helpers, for thy God helpeth thee." Then David received them and made them captains of the band. So this message is all about learning to receive help. And basically, I was just talking to a friend at the mall. I ran into her and we were talking about how we become in this generation so isolated. It's a difference between God isolating you and you saying you don't need anybody, and you don't need friends, and you don't need this person, you don't need anybody to get to where you need to be. When in reality, no one made it to the top or successful without people, without anyone helping them. So this message is a very timely message for me, as well as probably anyone else, because we need people to help us get to our next level. We cannot do life alone, and we were not made to. And so this message is very important because God said in this message that the men were men of war, fit for the battle, and they could handle, and who faces were like lions. And so to be fit for a battle means you need friends that were made and born for the type of places you're going. You need people that have been through things, who's overcome certain things in their life, so that they could help you and aid you in whatever you need to overcome. Like the proverb that iron sharpens iron. You can't get help from someone who never been through what you've been through. It's like going to the doctor. It's like going to the dentist to get your hearing fixed. You can only connect with people that have already passed the level you're going to, or at least have been through what you've been through, so they could coach you how to overcome it. You can't be with someone who's on a low vibrational and still going through it themselves. They can't help you. They still need to help themselves. So God is saying that the beauty of these men were that they were fit. They were already fit for battle and to help him. And they were already courageous. They were already brave. You don't need people that are lacking those attributes, who are still scared, because they'll put that fear into you. And so they could handle their own. You need people that are, yes, we lean on each other, but at the end of the day, they should be able to carry some burdens on their own and give it to God. And so the most special part also about this is that when David went out to meet them, he made his expectations clear. So this also shows us that when we go into forming relationships, friendships, or into anything, that we want to connect with people, we have to make sure that our principles, our morals, and what we desire from the relationship is clear. We can't have them thinking that anything is just going to fly with us if that's not who you are. You have to set boundaries with people and let them know, like, if you mean me harm, if you still got destruction and deceit and chaos going in your life, I can't be around that right now with what I have going on and where I'm going. And so he's like, if you betray me, he even says up front, if you're my enemy or you're going to just give me up to my enemies, then God is going to rebuke you. I'm going to let God handle and fight that battle, because David was saying, if my hands are clean, I've done no wrong to you, and you betray me for no reason, you set me up for no reason, God will handle you. Then in verse 18, it says, then the Spirit came upon Amasai, who was chief of the captains. Do y'all know what that means? That means check the fruit, check the spirit of a person before you accept them as your help. Because it says, then David received him afterwards, after the chief said, we are on your side. Peace, peace be upon you, for thy God helpeth thee. Don't just take people's word for it, saying they're from God. Check their spirit. Check if there is peace within that relationship. Check if there is peace in the midst of everything y'all are going through. It should be at ease, regardless if there's chaos and stuff breaking out around you. That helper, that friend, that family member, that job, it should have you at a state of peace. Anything else is sent from the devil. David received them after that. He didn't receive them after he set the expectations. He waited for a response and that confirmation and signal from God that this was the hand of God on these helpers, that his help came from the Lord to help him become king. And that's all what we should look for when we're looking for people to help us to grow and become who we are meant to be. They should all have the peace of the Lord upon them. That spirit that we have living inside of us should also live among the people that we choose to do life with, to help us grow in life. If not, you may have to let them go for a season or forever. David's wise judgment of his helpers came from the wisdom that God already placed down inside him. See, sometimes we receive people too fast, or we don't receive people at all because we're still scared, or we're still replaying old memories that causes us to have thoughts of negative experiences and put that box upon everybody just because they're called outliers. I learned in school, and this is something I struggle with. This is why I could speak on it. Outliers are when we have a negative experience within a friendship, within a boyfriend, or within a job, and we carry that experience and put that upon everybody. Like, that's that outlier that all men are the same, or my next job is just going to be as chaotic as my last one. Like, all my jobs are going to make me feel horrible. I'm not going to have a good job anywhere. Those are outliers, using negative experiences to place them upon your present, basically. And that's what I have been doing in this season, and what God is releasing me from and calling me from, that the help we receive, we will know when it's from God when we check and test it by our fruit. But it's up to us to be direct and upfront about our expectations and how we are. We have to be bold. We have to be courageous. We have to be clear about our standards and what we want in life and what we desire to have around us. So I love you guys, and I hope you guys receive the help you need and ask God for the wisdom and grace to find and meet those people. And then once you do, receive them with grace, because they are on your side. They want to see you win. They want to help you grow, and they do want you to be the best version of yourself that God is calling all of us to be. So bye.